So I actually have a question. So,
Yeah.
like when you download Max patches from GitHub like this,
Yeah.
do you just select all of this and then
And then paste, yeah.
paste it? I didn't know if there's a different way, like to.
Normally there was a shorthand way to do it because I upload on GitHub, so it shows as a JSON file. Normally, if you compress and copy and post on GitHub, it's gonna be something shorter.
Okay.
But if you clone all the my repo and or it, yeah, it's gonna can.
Okay,
and
cool.
It's gonna be easier.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And if anyone go to the slide here, let me know if you cannot see. Or another thing, if you cannot understand my accent, you can just like stop me and then like, what the fuck are you talking about? So here, if you go to the slide, you can download the Wekinator from this link and the Max MSP from here. I recommend. I mean, if you're using Max, like oftenly, you should buy it. I recommend to buy it, but we also have in the production laptop because you can save it. The free version, you can just. I'm not sure why it says free for 30 days because normally I can just use it forever, but you cannot. Sometimes you cannot install some library or you cannot save, but you can just copy and then press somewhere else and then go back and use it.
And there's actually, right now, if you did want to buy it, there's a deal for upgrading to the next version because it's coming out in the next few months.
Yeah. I think the student price is around $60, $59 or something.
You can also, I think you can like rent it, like pay by the month or by the year or something.
Yeah.
Or you can buy a flat out license.
Yeah. And from what I know, it's going to be paid to French government, which is like, I found it's cool to know. It's like,
Is
why?
It really?
I think the
Because
French
of our
government,
account?
yeah.
Interesting.
If anyone has any problem on downloading? Should I go? So when both of them will be there. Yeah. Has anyone has experience using either Wekinator or Max before?
I've tried Wekinator.
Mm-hmm. Like for what any.
For gesture detection.
Uh-huh. And you use it for what output did you send to?
I use link motion.
Oh, nice. On Max MSP or
Just
sync?
link to the P5.
I see.
Never done anything.
I see. Okay, we're gonna go slow. That's great. Let me know if you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. And if you are hungry, feel free to go grab food. Because like this time, I'm like, every time I have the class during this time, I'm like, food! Why you guys downloading? I'm gonna explain like where it came from a little bit. So it was created by the professor at Goldsmith named Rebecca Fiebrink. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, but she basically tried to research about like the political of using the gesture. They said that sometimes like computer vision is biased the gesture by not give them the correct way of the gesture. So she made this program to create. She said that it could be a better algorithm of using the gesture or computer vision or any source of input to generate the new output. And that's why she's been researching on this. And this tool is like around allow you to building a new interface of it could be something like new switch or the gesture, and then create a new application. It's more like creative practice more than making a machine learning things, because the program itself already generate do that job for you, and then you can create the new tools. And it can control sound, animation, games, sensor, and like a lot of application. For example, like Shark. If you guys know about Shark program, processing, Aberon, Unity, Max MSP, JavaScript, anything that can use OSC sending. So it's basically very, very like flexible program. Yes, that's it. And anyone like, are you guys done with the downloading? Okay. And anyone knows about OSC before? Not really. It's like it came from open source control. It's created by the guy named Adrian and Matt from Center of New Music and Technology, Berkeley. And basically there was a guy who was like, oh, I want to do like control so many things. I want to communicate with you by like, maybe I press key on the keyboard, and then I want you to know, or I want another application from computer to know what key that you press, like how long that you press, how loud that you press, or something like that. But it ended up really useful tools. You can send something else besides not just the sounds information, but it could be any information that sent through the OSC. So it's basically work like the evolving of MIDI from music. You guys know about that, and it's a simple mechanism that allows different computers to talk to another computer or another application, and basically it's mostly a lot of software and hardware has can read OSC, can sense OSC. And about the port, I'm gonna talk about this later. So this is like basically you have two application. Let me know if you can not read my handwriting. And you want to send this key, and then this thing called OSC. Like I want to send this message, and then another application has to know where it came from, and you have to call the port. So the port is more like a virtual post office that I'm gonna send which port I'm gonna send. So I'm gonna select this port. So you have to let them know that I'm gonna send this to this port, receive from this port. So basically this is how OSC works. And this is how Wekinator works. So the Wekinator is a model that you can give them the input, and they're gonna generate. It's gonna generate the algorithm and then send another output, and you can train that output. So for example, the inputs could be the sensor, any kind of sensor, and it could be game controller. It could be your gesture, like using the webcam and then give them the data of the pixel, or GPS or Twitter data, or it could do anything live time, and then generate by you can select the model of algorithm that you want to use, and then produce the output. And the output could be anything: sound, visualizations, games, animation, anything like that. But the things that different, as I said, because you can train the data by yourself, and then they can think about it like, oh, this is the right gesture or not, this is the right sound or not, and then analyze, and then by that create the new algorithm and then send the new output. So this is how Wekinator works. This is from the website. So like for example, like you give them this and then learn this, but then if you give this, like what is gonna send the data, something like this. But I'll go to deep about this later. And yeah, let's start. So do you guys have a program ready, and do you have my code? You can clone or download the zip file. And if you before that, I'm sorry. So I give you this file. So wait, how can I make it bigger? Can you see this? Can you read this?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the external that can do the OSC and the analysis thing for Max MSP. So this is the external library for Max MSP. So when you got this, you have to copy this one, or move this one to document. Go to document and Max, and then place it in the package here.
Copy the whole folder.
Yeah, whole folder of the,
See map.
yes, like here.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
That is document package.
And this is how to install the external library for Max. If you download another library, then you can press here. Sometimes I have a problem. If I have that problem, sometimes you can go to application too, and then go to Max. No, right click and then show package content, and then somehow it need to place here, but not like that. This is not regular way to install the package. So mostly it's here, or sometimes like library. I don't know why, and sometimes it need to. It's required. It's gonna say in the library say that it's required 64 gig version, which is you can always go back and change by going to application, and then right click here, and then I forgot how to do it. Get info, and then you can select open in. So the default setting of Max is going to be 32-bit always, but some library require 64-bit, so it's just unclick here. It's going to be 64-bit. It's going to take the GPU more than the regular GPU that you've been using. So now I'm just using 32-bit for now.
And we need to.
No, not right
Okay.
now. And here I have all the documentation, but I think it's better to go through with it together because it's kind of confusing, the UX design. So, but if you are confusing, go back to read this, or they did a good documentation in their website too. I'll give you all the links. So when you got everything, and then when you open Max, or you double click my code here, it should it should be like this. It should, like, especially this thing should show the regular colors. If it shows orange, it means the library is not working. So it's good. Nice.
So I have to click on which one.
Double click the file.
01 web version. You might just want to search for it. Or one WEC, W-E-K. And turn up you can
That's good. Nice. So, I'm not sure if we have enough time, but I can go back and go through all of this, like how Max works. But so far, I'm gonna just using this patch. I'll explain how does this work a little bit. So the way Max works is it's like Node program. So you have to drag the cable to connect everything, and then like if you right clicking and then edit or Command E, and you're gonna barely see the dot, but it's probably hard to see. But you will be able to edit the code, and then clicking, and then if you're confusing anything, they did a well documentation by if you right clicking this, and then this is the object called pick slider, and then if you click help, it's gonna have the documentation, everything, and how to use it. The reason that I like Max because they have a lot of good documentation, and you can always go back to their blog and then searching. Always have people has the same problem as you, and then always have people to come and solve the problem. So I think they did a good job documentation. So this one is so I made the patch that can send you the data of X and Y position during this box. So you can see the right number, the left number is the X position, and the right number is the Y position from 0 to 127. So this is the data that we're gonna send the input to Wekinator to train it. And so it's two numbers, the X and the Y's. And then this is just to show you the number that I passed, and then divide by 127 points to make it a float number. And then how Max work is kind of weird. Like they need this function, like they need the float function to pass the number, and they need this is called metro object, which is mean metronome. So every time I keep sending things, I need to make sure it keep running like metronome, like works. And 20 is millisecond. So every 20 millisecond send this data. So it keeps sending. And then I join them together because this is how Wekinator works. If you want to send a bunch of number, you have to put them in the one string. And then this is the object to make the Wekinator, how it is. It has to be wek and then flat input to give the name to the port to send the OSC, like I said before. And then this is the object to make. So if you click UDP send, this is the external that you just install. So this is allow you to send OSC outside or inside the program, send and receive. And basically, how do you send the OSC? You have to give if you send to the different computers or from your phone to your laptop, you have to give them the local host number. But if you send inside your laptop, you can just say local hosts and then give them the number. And the default part is 6448 for Wekinator. Let me know if you have any questions. Stop me anytime. And this is the receivers. So the default part is also the 12,000, and this is how the Wekinator send you back. So they're gonna give the weight and the output and then the numbers. So I'm gonna unjoin them because this is how Macs read. Like they cannot read the string, so they have to unjoin the package. And then this is really important for the first one that I'm gonna use because the controller from the first model can read only zero from 0 to 1. So if accidentally they give you the minus 0.2, it's error. So make sure it's not clipping. And then I pack it together again because I want to control the RGB board. And then here I just pass the number, and the way Max read passing the number is by the dollar sign to give me this is the order in order 1, in order 2, in order 3, and then read the floating number by 1 point. This is mean they're gonna read the 1 point number. So let's try with the Wekinators. So you have to lock the patch to make sure if you lock the pad, but if you're clicking and you cannot move anything, it means the pad is locked. Or you can just click here, lock and unlock. And then you click metal to sending this through OSC. And then now we're gonna open Wekinator. So here, as you see, this is the port number. You can change to any number, but this is the default. And this is the message. You can change to anything too, like if you have any, like another names, and this is output. And the first function, the first type is called all continuous. And this one, I'll explain you how it works by drawing. I think it's better. So, like, for example, if you, wait, is this left to right? Shit. Maybe, let me try. Yes.
Or can you actually flip it?
Yeah, it's already.
Oh, wait. Or,
Yeah, there's simple to flip.
Under either.
it's okay. I'll just draw for you and I'll,
There's the effects. Well,
this is this gonna be for screen recording for you guys, but it's okay. I'll post it in the slide and then do it later. I'll draw here. So like, for example, like this is a box, like the limit of the things that you're gonna send. And let's say you're gonna have 0 and 1 as a minimum and maximum. And then the first model is let's say if you point, maybe you give the data x and y, train the model, say that this whatever here is 0, whatever here is 1, and you train them, and then when you run the Wekinators, and then when you point here, when you point in the middle, the Wekinator is gonna give you, oh, this is 0.5. So this is like gradients, things like, this is possibly the Washington possibly 0.8 or something. Or so this is how the first model works, and then I'll show you how it works here. So the input is two object x and y. So you have to change number to 2, and the output is 3 because we're gonna get RGB number.
So what are the two inputs?
2 inputs x, y.
Okay, sorry.
and then the host is localhost, and then if you're not clicking Metro, here the OSE in is gonna be yellow, which means they didn't receive anything. And then if you click on, it means sending the data. The Wekinator got something now. So I'm gonna train. Let's do this corner, the top left, as a black color. So now, if you're moving this, now it's know immediately if this is RGB because you send back to the max MSP. So you can see together. So I'm gonna do this as black. So I'm gonna start recording, maybe 2 seconds, stop. And then I'm gonna do this corner, top right, white maybe. So I'm gonna move this bar, the 3 output, and then start recording, 2 seconds. And then, what do you want? Maybe red. This corner maybe. Maybe purple, and then recording, 2 seconds. You can do it as long as you can, or you can start training. The better result is if you train a lot, it's gonna get the better result. And maybe this corner, let's do blue, no green. Go. Recording, stop recording, and then click training it. So the Wekinator gonna do that job by ourselves, and then run it. So now when you go back to your max patch, you're going back to this corner, it's black. You're going back to this, it's white. If you're going in between, it's maybe dark blue because we're setting up this to green and this to purple. So they mix the color and mix the number and generate the new position. So this could be a good application for maybe you, let's say if you do the movement using webcam and then sending the pixel position, and then when you're moving this, it's changing the visual color or sound, and then you can do VJing by hand, like Kinect. But you don't need an extra the machine or anything. And you can do another application, and you can sending this to processing and anything. And so this is, I think this model is kind of stabilized the most because like you give them exactly position and then they generate by themselves. So this is how it works. Does anyone have any question so far?
Because you didn't send the OSC, so you do this, and when you click it, the OSC is going to change.
Oh.
This is me. Yeah, so this is me. Keep sending this out to Wekinators.
Any questions about these models? I'll go through the second one. So you can save the training too. So you can stop running, and then you can save by just save project as, and then. But only one thing that when you open, I found was really annoying that you have to only click here and then open project and then go to the folders. You cannot just drag or double click or. Because first time I used it and I thought it's crashing or something.
Does it crash or does it just nothing happens?
Nothing happened. Yeah. You guys have any question of Max or Wekinators? Anything? Should we go to the second models? And the second models, I'm going to use another code second one, the Wekinator classify and dynamic. This one.
So do we have to close Wekinator
Yes.
when we open a new patch?
Yeah. Because close the sketch, and then I think basically it's gonna just close themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is another tool from the same school that I like a lot. But the guy, so this is the patch that's gonna analyze your voice. The ADC is the object that means microphone. So again, if you like clicking, and then you can see the document, and then you can test, and then this is the basic microphone. So it's gonna just get the how loud, how basic. But this thing, the analyzers, came with a package that you just install too from the same school. But the guy who did this, he passed away, so no one documentation this. So Luke Dubois teach me this, and he basically we figure out during the class, this should be this should be this. But it's really powerful tools. Like if you like clicking, and if you try out everything, it's really amazing. Like how can they analyze your voice? If you like clicking, and then you see how confusing.
Is this an external?
Yes, in the same folder that you just installed. So we found out that each chord also gives the different number of data. If you're not sure which one is which one, just like point them out there, and then they're gonna give you, this is gonna give you this is gonna give you how loud it is, this is brightness of the sound, and then we don't know what is back, and then we figure out this is the things that analyze your sound to become like 25. I don't know how to call it phonetics, like the how do you call this thing? Like in voice pronunciation. So like let's try it. So it's gonna analyze, but we don't know exactly the first bar is what, the second bar is what. But this is the way it works. And what I'm gonna do for this one, I'm gonna train them to recognize the sound, and then so we're gonna give them 25 different input to the Wekinators by giving this, and then it did the same thing, like sending to the local host 6448, and then receive it. But when we receive it, we only get one data, it's gonna be something in Wekinators, and then it's gonna do something else. So I'm gonna explain the second models. So the first model is just generated the new number, but the second models, if it was the same box again, 0 to 1, and then maybe I'm pointing to here. If the first model is gonna be like 0.4 or something, but this model is gonna only give you either 0 or 1. So classify them. Like, this is 0. If I'm pointing here, this is 1. This is 1. This is maybe error, but maybe give nothing back. And yeah, so this is how classify works. And then for the example application, it could be like if you do drum machine, and then you give them the different input, and then you only need this thing to make a sound when you get into this area or something like that, like specific. So if you go to Wekinators, so you have to open and close all the time, which is annoying. The input going to be 25 because of the sound analysis, and the output is going to be 1. But you have to change the type here to the all classifier, And here you can change to the 4 class. We're gonna do 4. Maybe let's do 3, I'm sorry. And then I'll change the code. To change the code, Command E or unlock here, and then double click on this object and then delete it. The cell 1, 2, 3, 4 is select 1 through T. This is gonna be like a pod for each output. And then you can delete this one because we don't need it. And then lock it again by clicking this lock symbol. And then when we go back to Wekinators, 3 class, check everything, we have everything correct. And then next. This is gonna be hard because classify is like, you have to be specific. Like you have to do like, if you did this kind of sound, you have to do like really stable, like and then recording. If you have something like and then do they're gonna get that data too. So if it's not working, I'm sorry. Like if it's it's working, but I might not clearly see. What should we do? So I'm
just curious. So can you use this with like stable sound signals?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
So if you connect your MIDI controller like direct to Max or from another like a bit on live, it's gonna be more stabilized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna use GarageBand and see if it's work. I'm sorry, I should test this, but so first sound, I'm gonna using maybe drum. Okay, let's see if we can get this. So you see the graph, it's like that. So I have to be exactly the same time. So when I start recording, you have to click here. Wait, I missed it. I fuck it up. So if you fuck it up, don't worry. Delete it here. This is the number that you've been doing, like you've been collecting the data. So it's already recording, so you delete it. And then do it again. Or if you don't want to delete it, you can re-add it again. And this is set to the output 1. This is not gonna be it. But let's see. And the second one, I'm gonna shoot this sound because it's a little different, maybe. And then we're going to Wekinator and then select the second output and then start recording. Stop recording. And then the last one, I'll do bass.
I'm sort of confused. Why do you have to record twice? Like, why do you have to start recording and then also record?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Okay.
Maybe they have like I also didn't go deep down on this program too, but this is how the basic of 3 types work. It's kind of hard to do it by yourself. Basically, I have another friend to just click recording and been training. Because if you do like a movement, you cannot clicking it. And the last one, I'll do bass. This is my fuck it up, but let's see. And I'm gonna train it. Oh, I fucked it up. I'm sorry. So I forgot to change the output. So this is annoying, like really annoying things that happen all the time. So I guess let's do the second ones again. Yeah.
We're training a lot of times.
Yeah.
One example.
Yeah. will be more stable. So I'm gonna do drum again. Okay. Change the output and then this is my fuck it up, but train it and then run it. It's crappy because it's get the so this is the object, the output 1, 2, 3, and if we did this same exactly sound, it's gonna hit the bang, and then let's see if it works with the drum because this seems like it's clear. So it's also get the last one because it's confusing because I didn't do the good quality sound, but let's do. It's not getting the first one, but you can see how it works, right? And then when it's getting the bang, you can do it something else like that maybe activate this code to work, activate this sound to work, or activate another visual to work. But it's like you making the controller for this one, for this object. Any question for this model? Seems useful so far or no? It's kind of hard, the training part, especially this, and the next one is more harder.
I'm wondering what kind of data we sending to the Wekinator? Is that pitch or frequency or?
It's sending the number, it's depend on what this guy is sending. So this guy is sending the number of the different pitch of the keys. It's somehow the way to see it.
But isn't it 25 different data points?
Yeah.
So it's not only pitch, it's lots of things.
A lot of things. So here, when you're clicking here, the example, the good thing that you can come and see the first time what you did, and then here is 25 different outputs. So you see a lot of clappy, like the one numbers that make things like confusing could be. You can editing this, and if you do something like just 1 or 2 inputs, and then you have exactly action or like more clearly data, you can recording, and then you can come here and then editing the crappy things that you don't want, or you seems like this seems the wrong number, delete it or change it to somewhere else to make the models better by clicking here. So this is the second models.
So according to your experience, like how many times of training do you think it will become more stable?
Like for example, the next one that I'm gonna teach is the piece that Sebastian did in his 9. Do you remember he did the sensor from phone, and he did this the way he did this because he want Wekinator to get the action. So we did that 5 times each, different, and we've been training the new. Every time he opened the course to make sure it's work. I don't know if it's risk or it's good, because sometimes you can just save the data and then you open it. But because he always changing, the gyroscope is like something that annoying. That if you change the position of the sensor, like say if I'm training here and then move there, and the way you change you training it changing. The gyroscope is so sensitive, and then it's like, I don't know where you are, and I think it's wrong position. So he have to train at that time. So yeah, he been training 5 times. I think that because of that models, which we are going to talk next, is require times and frame rates. So we're gonna using the same sketch, and I think this one probably better for this sketch. So the last one called dynamic time wrapping. So this one you can do motion, or you can record frame rate. So we're not gonna just give the 0 and 1, but we also give time. can train. We can train the model. Maybe we draw this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and then maybe the second one. Maybe just draw the circle, and then when you draw this, they know it's the circle, and then we give you another like things that you want. But if you draw this, it might give you. It's not gonna give you, or it might give you because if you draw exactly the same on top of the point, and so it definitely gives the data of the point. But then maybe if it gets this, it might like it's almost circle, or maybe you draw this almost the same circle. They might know this is circle, but it depends on the time. Because if you draw so slow, and the one that you draw this, it's like maybe it's not because the time that you draw this is the 0.8 second, and this one is the next 0.5, and this one is too fast. Maybe it's get confusing. So this is good for doing a motion or movement. So that's why I said that this is good to train a lot of times. Like for example, Sebastian did this motion, so he has to do this. But if he has to do if he's doing this or if he's doing this, the model doesn't get it. Maybe you're gonna see how it works here. So it's gonna be the same thing. So the 25 input and 1 output, but with any gesture that you want it to be, which is
For the output input, this has to be 25 or
no, the input.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be any how many input that you give the Wekinators.
So the more you have, will it be more precise or?
Oh no. So because this one I use the sound analyze, which is this guy. Only this guy give 25 number of analyze. But if you give X and Y, it's gonna be just 2. If you give a color like RGB, it's gonna be 3 values. It's gonna be 3 inputs. So it could be anything. If you make a controller left, right, up, down, it's gonna be 4 output. It depends on what you send to the OSC. And this one, so you can also save this one. I'm gonna save and send to everyone. And the last one, and we have to close it again and open it again. And this is gonna be all dynamic times wrapping. The same thing. The input is 25 because we give 25 input. This thing only give 1 output, which is mean 1 number, the same thing. So I get confused about this when I first using it because it also can give you 5 different gesture, but what is mean output? It mean like the type of output. So this time maybe we will do with 3 gesture type, and then maybe this time we can do a words. Like I'm gonna do, hey Google. Let's say if it's different. Hey Google, Siri. No, it's the same. Siri. What else? Alexa. Yes. Okay. So you see, is the time is Siri, Alexa. It's different. So what else in other words? Any like lower tone? Maybe I'm just doing this. Okay, we click the metronome. So now you can see here. So this is the most annoying part of this thing, that you have to click this to training it. So you have to hold it. So if you do the gesture, you don't have hand to do it. You have to ask friend to do it. I don't get it. Okay, the first one. Siri, and I unhold it to stop recording, and I do it again. Siri, 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 Siri. I'm gonna just 5 times. The second one is Alexa. Alexa, 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 Alexa. And the last one. Okay, it should be good. And I think click run. Alexa, Alexa is confused with Siri. Siri, Siri. You can see how the better you training, the better the Wekinator gonna give you output. So
I'm sort of confused.
Yeah.
Like, how are you testing it? I don't see the correlation.
Here. So if it's the right one, it's gonna win. It's gonna send the bang here. And yeah.
I think the noise comes the value always get really high.
Yeah, this thing, right? Yeah. Also, if you're doing this, like especially this voice analysis, you have to do like better recording, or even the motion gesture also get a lot of noise. Like if you're not doing exactly like recording exactly times, so it's always happen. So you can also click the same thing, and then so it's, maybe this is a bad example, but you can come back and edit the crappy numbers here. I mean, it could be better if you send just 3 outputs, as I say. But this is like you making the voice synthesis, but like home version, DIY version, and you can activate things by this. Maybe let's say if I say turn on the light, or making this noise or something like that. Yeah, and yeah.
Maybe change the threshold value and
Oh, this one?
yeah, there's
Oh, yeah.
Bar, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about this. Sorry. So you can also go into here, and then change how sensitive of the threshold is, and then you can. I don't know exactly the number, how it works, but you can play with it, and then maybe let's say 2016, and then like play with the number and see the results. Oh my god, this is words. Siri, Siri, Siri. So this is less sensitive, so it's not good. But yeah, you can change the setting, and this is how it could use to your work and everything. And do you have any question of this model?
So my only question is like, how would we do something gestural with a webcam or, or something like that, as opposed
To do
audio?
this.
Like, what is how does the interface differ?
I'm gonna show some project, and I'm gonna set this first for you guys. So there was some example of using this. This is also another one. So this is the sound artist who using this for training her machine. So she is also in 9, and but not the class. Like 9 is like an organization, and then she did her new instrument by just touching the string, and she training it. So this is the gesture that she made. So I think this is she training it first, showing how to train it. I'm gonna skip this part. It's
So
pretty-
where is it? Like, what is sensing her?
I think it's sending the position of the string.
There's like a webcam now or something, or
I don't think so. I think it could be the sensor
okay.
or the distance. It could be anything. I made something like this with the how do you call it? The string that can send, that can do the capillary touch. And then I did so it's gonna give you the different distance, and then that data can be training. It could be anything, and I think this one it could be that the resistance, the resistance, yeah. I'm gonna go to so here, I think this is after training. So this is her works. It's mostly like this. So the reason that she said that this is useful for musician because it's like when you play violins, that's different with from the electric violin on GarageBand because your hand is changing, the position of your body changing. So that's why she want computer to learn more or generate more gesture, like give more ability to computers. This is another one I found. OpenCV. That people using OpenCV to control Wekinators. So this is, I think this one can apply for Kinect. If I'm not wrong, I think he using Open Framework for getting the OpenCV and then send to Wekinator and then send back to Max.
First we buy the meat, and then we buy
Another samples that I
the
found.
box.
Oh, I think this is the same one.
First we buy the meat, and then
Wave it around a little bit,
This is
and also
Jen Hagen, Kogan, the guy who did a lot of machine learning stuff. He did this one for, I think, Open Framework and also, I don't know what else he did. Is anyone use Open Frameworks? Or it seems so hard for me. Like I'm like, what is this? Is this the English? Yeah. So I think it's still new for people to use, but I think it's really useful. You can use for something else, not just for art. Like I saw Robin use for his. Have you seen his? Do you know Robin? Our residency. Maybe Ruben. I'm sorry, terrible name. Maybe he did. So he did the robot vacuum cleaners.
Oh,
Yeah, with the webcam things. So he been researching on that, and then I think he used Wekinator to control. So when he do the webcam, and then if the webcam get the picture of people, he been training by using the pixel of this is mean people in front of the camera, turn left or stop, don't move towards the person, or he been trained, and also he been training to control how to turn left and right by waving the hand. So he did like if you're doing this, turn left, doing this, turn right, and the the good thing from the Wekinator is he can do like this position or this position. It could learn how by his training. Like maybe he not give the Wekinator exactly the same position, but okay, maybe the Wekinator knows this is left or something like that. So this is another application that he used with something else, not art, not just like art or visual sound. This is so far we have, and this is like, don't forget things like don't forget the host number has to be correct, and you can do like only one OS, like you can sending only one application if you're using OSC, and this is everything, like you have to be the same name. That's it. And this is the documentation on their website. It's quite good. Yes, and also I use this for Node as OSC, so sending to JavaScript too is also very useful because you can do everything on JavaScript online by using Wekinators. That's it. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me know if you have any.